Do you remember last week? And I swear I'm the only person on this for you, because I want you to know in advance that your life is going to stink. And here's how. My spooky powers of Nostradamus-like prediction. They keep on happening, keeps on a-coming. Here's the latest. Told you last week that there is a plant in northwest Georgia. I want to say Noonan. I want to say that's the town in that ballpark. Way occupied Atlanta, way the hell up there. Where they were going to put in a coal-burning plant. And what happened? It got too expensive to put it in. So they said, nope, pull it, we're not going to do it. And they also pulled one out of Arkansas, and they sort of scaled back one in Texas. Same company owned all three plants. Said, nope, can't do it, ain't going to work. And I did a big, lengthy diatribe last week saying, what do environmentalists want? It's the environmentalists that keep shutting down plant after plant, making restrictions more prohibitive, more costly. Barack Obama, we've heard and we've played the quote multiple times, that your utility bill will, quote, and here's the quote from the president, will necessarily skyrocket. It's got to go up. It can't stay where it is, and hell no, it ain't going to go down. It must necessarily skyrocket. That is a direct quote from Obama. We've played it multiple times on the air. So as this has happened, remember this time last year when biomass, you know, trees grow back. I'm not going to do the whole thing again about biomass and why I think biomass is a good idea. But let's just say I'm on Team Biomass. Give me the t-shirt that says Team Biomass. I'll wear it proudly. You cut down trees, and the leftover detritus, the forest gunk, the junk, the yunk, the unk, all the stuff that's left over, the pine cones, the small scrappy little limbs, the branches, the tops of the trees, can't do anything with. Well, normally that's just thrown out, or it's left to rot in the forest. Now, when a tree dies, remember, a couple things are going to happen. It either dies naturally, keels over, and rots on the forest floor. It burns in a forest fire, or it's chopped up and burned by us and used by us. That's really the three options you're going to get. In every single option, it emits the carbon that has been a carbon sink for and collected its entire tree life. The carbon doesn't just go away. It doesn't die with the tree. The carbon's like, oh, the tree's dead. We're out of here. That's basic chemistry for you. Really basic chemistry, but that's how it works. Carbon's like, hey, the tree's alive, all is good. Oh, tree's dead, we're out of here. And then it goes to the atmosphere. And carbon, of course, is evil, as we all know. You're going to get it whether the tree rots, the tree burns in a forest fire, or we burn the tree in a biomass plant. Now, I like biomass for a real simple reason. You can burn trees again and again and again because you can always plant new ones. It's renewable resource. And if you don't burn it here and create electricity and create jobs, well, you know what? It's going to die anyway. So, let's say, I'll give you the other two scenarios. It rots on the forest floor. Oh, yucky, gunky, icky. Who cares? It's in the forest. No one cares about that. It's still emitting that dangerous carbon. Can you plant a new replacement tree on top of the dead tree? I don't know. You got to work that out for yourself. But that's option A. Option B is it burns in a forest fire, which means got a couple of million British thermal units of BTUs of energy and heat being produced, but it's all going straight into the atmosphere. And you got forest fires, you got smoke, and it's smoggy. And all of that discharge from the burning trees did not have the benefit of going through a power plant, like a biomass plant, where there's scrubbers and there's EPA regulations and whatnot. Because the smoke that comes out of the biomass plant is much cleaner than the smoke that is just coming out of a forest fire. The particulate matter, the big nasty stuff, is captured at the biomass plant. Out of the forest, it simply burns. And then your poor, precious children and their wee, tender, fragile lungs, now you got a problem. So So I look at biomass, go, what's the big deal? In fact, biomass replaces coal. Coal, you've got to strip mine virgin Mother Earth up the Appalachian Mountains. Oh, now you got a serious problem. You can't make more coal. You can't make more mountains. It's a dangerous job. It's dirty. It's filthy. It strips the landscape. It's a terrible thing. They take off mountaintops, they go in and they rip out the coal. Dirty, evil, nasty, stinking coal. Well, that's what we're stuck with right now. Nuclear ain't here yet, and solar, how to phrase nicely, is still a pipe dream. If you want to challenge me on the goodness of solar power, I will say, here is how you're qualified to make that challenge. Invite me to your home. I'll show you my house, you show me your house. Invite me to your home. Show me how you are not connected to the energy grid at all, the one that is using coal. Show me the solar panels, that you're totally self-reliant. Then I will accept your argument that solar power is here to stay. Until then, you're deluding yourselves. The technology has not gotten good enough yet. Someday it probably will. But we're a couple of decades out. It hasn't happened. Does the word Solyndra mean anything to you guys? Even with government money, hundreds of millions of dollars being poured into individual companies, billions of dollars across the board, we can't make solar work. It's been given every hall pass available, and it still hasn't come through. Period. End of statement. Do you remember 2 months ago, the study came out in October this year? All the solar aggregate produced that is sold to Georgia Power in the state of Georgia is enough to power 5 and only 5 Target superstores. But I say Walmart, super Walmarts, because that's basically the same thing. That's it. 5 of them. Hell, we got 2 of those type stores here in Valdosta. That's it in the entire state. You could turn on Walmarts. 5 of them. And there's more than 5 Walmarts in the state of Georgia. So, yeah, there's about a bazillion. How many are there? 17 million or so. That being said, so we don't like biomass. Biomass sucks. Solar's not here. Nuclear, still working on it. Got to use coal. And we don't want our bills to necessarily skyrocket unless our name's Barack Obama. And they shut down the plans for a coal plant up in Noonan a week ago. Here's the latest. The Southern Environmental Law Center and Green Law have filed a challenge to the air permit for a proposed coal-fired power plant in Sandersville. Great. Nuke it. No. We don't need that one either. The state's Environmental Protection Division reissued the permit for Plant Washington last month after issues identified by a judge were addressed. However, the group say that it doesn't meet the national standards for harmful emissions. Plant Washington in Sandersville is the next challenge. So what's going to happen? Environmentalists, led by the 2 environmental groups, the Southern Environmental Law Center and Green Law, are all saying what? That coal is evil, that coal is bad, that coal pollutes, that coal is dirty air, that coal rapes the environment. They're all saying this. And yet, these are the same groups who say, biomass? No! Am I the only person who sees the problem here? Am I the only morning radio news guy on the radio dial who is pointing out the following truth? You can't have it both ways. And the environmentalist answer is always, well, solar. Solar's not good enough yet. Quick story. My house. A couple of these little solar lights, I did not purchase these. I'll be very clear about this. A couple of these little solar lights appeared in my backyard. I didn't put them there. It's like, here, this will look nice. It's like, Charlene didn't do it either. But it's a friend who said, hey, this would be nice in the backyard. Like, okay, go ahead. This in the backyard of my house, which has southern exposure. The lights have been there since, it would have been May or June. And they're the little solar lights. They're like little mushrooms. You plug them in the yard, and the sun gives them solar radiation. And then when the sun goes down, they glow with the brilliance of 1,000 fireflies. They're awesome. You can read a book if you put about 20 of them in a clump. They're awesome. They're that good. You know what I've noticed over the past couple of weeks? The light is not as robust. The light has dimmed a bit. In fact, the other day, I could barely see them. They've been there for 6 months. If you truly believe in solar, and if you want to come on this program, make the argument, just one qualifier for you. I will discuss this issue with you once I see that your house has been completely and totally converted to go off the grid, and you're using exclusively solar power from the sun itself. From up high in the heavens, that's all you need. Until then, the gang that's running around proud with the little biomass no signs, remember this. You had a huge victory against biomass here. You've had a huge victory against the coal plant up in Noonan. Now you're getting up for yet another victory in Sandersville against Plant Washington. Let me know when my power bills will go down because of your self-appointed sanctimonious efforts. I'm dying to see that. 7:48.5 is our time. Brief time out, back with a whole bunch more. Wait till we get going. News Talk 105.9. This is WVGA.